we're gonna be talking about The Last Jedi. I just saw it a few days ago. George also saw it. Today we're gonna be with George. What's good, George? How you doing?
And thank you for inviting me.
Hey, thanks for being here. Yeah, so we both saw the movie. I would say I felt positively about it. How did you feel?
I really liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
All right. So, but you said one of your friends didn't like it.
Yeah, he's a Star Wars fanatic. He didn't like it. He said it went off topic, like too original movie, and it was too like childish in his opinion.
It was too childish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could see like, yeah, there was some Muppets in there.
He really hated the Leia flying through the.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was gonna
spoiler
talk about
alert,
that.
but Leia flying through the stars. He hated that, and I was laughing the whole time. The kid next to me was laughing the whole time. So we just were like, okay, that just happened, so we can't do nothing about it. If she's a Jedi, and that's it. We never seen her use powers before.
We've never seen
so
her.
if she wanted to just pull that out, okay,
Yeah.
that's what she did. That's it.
Yeah.
But he was so mad at that. He thought it was like the most childish thing.
Yeah.
Something else really bothered him too that I really need to remember. But like,
yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff in this movie that wasn't really earned. Like it was just dropped on you. Like, oh,
that's
Jedi
what he said
should do
too.
this now.
Yeah.
Like
he's like,
yeah.
who's Snoke? Who is that now? We don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
He got so fucking mad that they killed him like that too, like with no background on him.
Yeah.
Or nothing. I thought that whole scene was amazing. I had my mouth open the whole time. The scene where it turns the lightsaber on him. And
yeah.
They, like, oh my god, it was amazing. Everybody was like,
is this Snoke or Snoke? Wait, which one was it?
SNO. It's Snoke.
Snoke. Okay. Yeah, like the thing.
I don't know what his title is, but that's Jacob Rothschild, and they got the real guy to play himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it bothered me because like the second they show him, I'm like, okay, he looks better than in The Force Awakens, but he still looks super CGI'd, and I'm like,
but
bro,
he's supposed to, because this one he looked more real.
Why'd they get Caesar to play like Snoke? Like, why they had to do that?
Caesar?
Yeah, it's the same guy that did
Oh
Planet
my
of the
God.
Apes and did Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god,
Andy
the
Serkis.
token CGI man.
Yeah, and he was probably mad because he's like, bro, I want to be like this, and they're like,
he
nah,
wants to
bro,
be
you gotta
himself
be like
finally,
this.
and then they like, no,
Yeah.
you're always gonna be a cartoon as an adult.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, because there was something about him, like he still looks CGI. I'm like, he's basically an old guy. You could have done it with makeup, you know.
They got Jacob Rothschild. Yeah.
Yeah.
They modeled.
I didn't like his character. I thought he was like the most cliche evil guy that we've seen in a minute. Like
it was childish.
Everything
That part was
said
childish.
Yeah, that was like.
But I just watched it.
I felt like we were watching like G.I. Joe or something. Like it was
very
just
childish,
over the top,
like Disney. And then when he hit her with the lightsaber, like he made her lightsaber fly and hit her in the head. That was childish. Like, but that was bad. It was like the whole show. That whole scene was badass.
Had a lot of like childish antics. Like it was Like,
there was kids in the theater. I didn't know that. I kept hearing little kids laughing. I was like, oh. That's it. I could see that this movie was childish, but I really liked it. I gave it like a 7.8.
7.8?
Yeah, my boy said I think 7.
Yeah, I was like...
It wasn't trash.
I was in between like a 7 or 8. I was kind of leaning on 7 just because there was so much childish stuff that wasn't like... It wasn't strategically put. Like, it didn't feel like a movie that was smart. Too. It was just a lot of stuff going on.
I liked it. I looked at it for what it was, but I'm not like a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah.
But they, like all my friends that are Star Wars fanatics, they hated this movie. It's pretty much compared to what they expected it to be.
What did they expect from it?
I don't know. That's why I can't answer that. I didn't really expect. I expected it to continue exactly where this one started. It was dope. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it was exactly what I expected because I expected like a lot of dumb stuff, like just a bunch of people turning on each other, and like I think they were trying to go for like how the second one was in the original trilogy, and it'd be like darker where nobody wins. But I think that came out with a lot of loose ends where it was like the whole casino scene was like very unnecessary. Like,
I just remembered that part.
Yeah, like I think Eddie asked me like what was the point of that scene because they don't accomplish anything, and I was like, I think it was just because in the original they had the cantina, and this time they had the casino. So they're like, we need a scene where we show all the aliens having fun together, you know?
Every Star Wars seems to have one of those.
Yeah, like it's like a staple of the genre.
Too. But
you liked it when they were.
I liked Benicio del Toro too. I completely forgot he was in this movie. That was amazing.
Eddie loves Sicario. So
no, I've never seen that, but he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Sicario. But I like the new thing that they're doing is sneaking in like major actors without not on the cast, like in the title.
Yeah. Eddie didn't even
like
know.
Eddie
was. I was like, oh, Benicio del Toro did good.
And
he was like, wait, he was in this, and I was like, yeah, he was.
And he played the same like quirky ass, like crazy, like.
Yeah, his eyes were doing. Man. You could tell he was the best actor.
Stutter. He's great, man.
He was the best actor in the
movie.
Our
Johnny Depp.
Our Johnny Depp,
Yeah,
like
that's
Hispanic
right,
Johnny
yeah.
Depp.
He's our Johnny Depp.
Where's
We
Johnny
got
Depp
him.
from? Is he Hispanic?
No.
No? Oh.
No.
He's just white,
Yeah.
Scandinavian.
It's probably Cherokee or Native American,
Yeah.
probably.
So your friend wasn't feeling the random Jedi
He's gonna
powers.
watch this and feel like if we're picking on him,
Huh?
like he's gonna watch this like if we're like singling him out, but nah.
No,
It's
I,
like
don't,
he
I think that's a common like feeling from this movie was like there was a lot of stuff that wasn't deserved, like it wasn't earned, and yeah, like the one thing I realized was like, oh, they're really turning the Jedi into like Super Saiyans, like Luke was like Goku, and like he was like,
That's
no,
amazing, man.
as long as I'm here, there will
He
be,
created
there will be
he
danger.
created like his own like avatar.
Yeah.
And he gave himself a haircut. But the funniest thing is he gave himself a cloak. If he wasn't even real, why even design the cloak to take it off? What did he need the cloak for? He didn't even sneak by nobody. He just downloaded himself into
I think
there.
it's so he could look like Obi-Wan, like so he looks more like an older.
It was
master Jedi.
just one of those like paquete parts of Star Wars.
Okay, yeah, I learned that word. That's a Cuban word.
Yeah, and it means like we're onto your shit in the movie sense. Like we're onto this. We can see the strings.
Yeah, so yeah, I think the Leia thing was dumb. I actually thought she was gonna die right there, and it would have made sense because
And it was crazy because
she died
Kylo
in
Ren,
real life.
you see him like you
Yeah.
keep seeing him like have a heart, but then he ultimately had the choice, and he's like, no, I'm always just gonna be a piece of shit. You don't understand? Like it was so
yeah.
funny. Ray's like, come on, you need to come with me.
Yeah,
we're gonna be good.
He's pretty much playing the same character that he does in Girls, like where he's.
Oh my
where
god,
he's like,
I already
he's like,
separated
I have a
Adam
heart.
Driver from Kylo
Yeah.
Ren because he's cool, man.
Yeah,
But Kylo Ren's a bitch, but
Actually,
Adam Driver's cool.
I liked Kylo Ren a lot more in this movie than in the first one. In the first one, he looked like he was like very like he was like a punk kid. He was kind of like Hayden
Still is.
Christensen in the original. In the original
I
thing.
thought Anakin was gonna make an appearance in this movie. That would have been badass.
I think they're staying away from that because they kind of CGI'd like a lot of the characters into the.
Nah, but
older
Anakin,
ones.
he's alive. Hayden Christian could just come back. What is he doing?
No, but it's just like I don't want to see him, man.
It would have been dope
I
for
don't
him
wanna
to
see him at
tell.
all.
Maybe in the next one they saved it. He should
Yeah.
talk to Kylo Ren and be like, "Yo, like, no,
But he was evil.
it's not worth being evil." No, but at the end he wasn't. He did the same shit.
Well, this
At the end he turned like as an old man. He kind
Yeah.
of like helped Luke.
yeah.
Kind of like what Kylo Ren did with Rey. Like
You're
that
right.
same little thing.
For me, I think that would be against what the thematic was of this movie, which was I think Kylo Ren said it best when he was like, "Burn it all." He's like, "Burn Luke. I don't want to hear about Luke Skywalker."
No, he's
I don't
like
wanna hear
every
about Leia.
single gun you
Done.
have on that man.
No
right
more
now. That
Han
was so
Solo.
funny.
The what?
That he's like, then there go Luke right there. Like he just he's like, oh shit,
there he is.
There he is.
He was like, I was
it's space
when he
Jesus.
showed up. When he showed up, like me and Edo were like, "Oh, he wants to shoot the fair one." And that as
He
somebody
came
from
out there. That
Kendall-
shit reminded me just
Yeah.
like Goku. Like it
Yeah.
looked just like Goku going out to like in the middle of the field.
It was wild because it was like, yo, he wants to shoot the fair one. Like he's gonna put everything on hold just to shoot the fair one with him, and it was not fair.
But the crazy shit is Poe realizing it because he's from Miami, so he
Yeah.
knew. He was like,
That's
"Yo,
what-
these people
yeah.
are eating shit over here. I think Luke is playing games."
Yeah, it's funny, yeah, because there were
He is
parts,
from Miami.
there were definitely parts in this where we go, Oscar Isaac is from Kendall.
Yeah.
Because he really like represented himself in this movie.
That's our guy.
Yeah, like he was just a savage. He was. I think at
He's gonna bag Ray.
I think in the beginning of this movie, he demonstrated like the best parts of his character, and then he sort of fell off. And we were like, oh, he's just
He should
playing
be the leader.
rebel.
Like,
Yeah.
if when Leia dies, probably next episode, they should.
They just need to school
make
him in
him-
this one, and
he
like
should
tell
be
him
the
like, you don't
leader.
know what
He
you're
should be like
thinking
John
of.
Connor of the Resistance.
I think that's what they're going for.
But the crazy plot hole of the whole Star Wars that I feel like I ruined it. My boy got really mad that he's just like, like you can't humanize it, but like it already is humanized. It's the fact that why does the Dark Order want to rule the world? What's the benefit? If they're living in a spaceship, why do they bother everybody?
you know,
Because you torture people for resources.
So-
What resources do you do if you're just in space going galaxy to galaxy?
so Edo had never seen Star Wars, so
Why would he go see this one?
Because of the hype. So
What about the hype from the last other one? There's been like a 30-year hype.
I don't know. I mean, he doesn't understand it. I think he has some issues with his childhood, so he he rejects
say
things
shit
that
like
are
that.
too. No, but like whatever. He didn't know anything about Star Wars, so he was asking me, "What is this? What is this and that?" So I was explaining. I was like, I think Star Wars is a representation of like World War II, and I think like obviously like the dark people are the Nazis, and then
They make that look
Princess Leia and those Federation people are from like Britain, and Luke Skywalker's the Americans that are like, we're gonna, you know, they don't want to do nothing, so we're gonna get in between and we're gonna knock things out.
Luke is the American.
Yeah, he's
and
America.
His sister is Britain.
She's British, but she's rebelling. You know, she's like, I'm gonna help you because you know Britain's not doing anything. They don't want to get involved because you know.
That makes sense though.
So that's what I was thinking, and that's what I told him because honestly, I think that's the biggest part of Star Wars that I disconnect at, which is I'm like, what do these bad people want? Like, what's the point? Why are they so angry?
Was the person in the First Order? Was the person being evil?
Like in this one, I guess they try to put more of like they're bad, but you know the good people aren't so good either. Like we're all selling guns.
Like they're bad. Yeah, that was this movie, but they're like they're bad. But then, what would life be without them putting the system in place? Like that's what they're trying to tell you. To just have to give in to the order.
This is probably like the most what do you call it, like existential crisis like Star Wars, where we have to like really like deal with this.
They said they took a lot of risk in this movie and people didn't like it for it.
Who cares, man? No,
yeah,
because
I like just saying what people say.
I think this movie, I think it has a lot to do with Rogue One. If you've seen Rogue One, it's a lot darker. Like it's basically a suicide mission. So everybody dies in that one.
You forget that.
Yeah.
To the very end when you see the.
I think this movie would have been darker. It would have felt darker if we didn't have Rogue One, but it also would have been kind of weird because we'd be like, damn, like because off the beginning, the Chinese girl, she you know she commits suicide. Like
that was also like childish. That was very anime like.
It wasn't when she was like. Doo-doo.
She's like the last heave.
Yeah.
That she did from the beginning.
I mean, it felt like there were a lot of callbacks.
Just perfectly, and then.
Yeah.
She catches it like perfect.
Yeah.
But Star Wars is like that with the perfect timing.
Perfect timing. I think that's something when you watch the movie, you're like
you're
expecting perfect timing, like this and I think this one they did a little bit of a trick where the perfect timing didn't come when you want it, but then it kind of did later, you know. And I think that still feels
and they transition between the three storylines pretty good too. Kylo Ren to Finn to Rey.
I think compared to The Force Awakens, this one felt a lot more like compact. Like it felt a lot more structured. The Force Awakens feels like they had like 4 hours of material and they just cut it down into like whatever they wanted to show. It's cool
that we finally get to see a backstory to how they got the plans.
Yeah, that was the Rogue One.
Oh, wait, damn. I confused the two.
The Force Awakens was the one.
The most recent one. Yeah, the one before this one. That ends literally before this one.
No, the one before this one was Rogue One, and then they did.
No, Rogue One. Rogue One is.
Yeah, but that was the prequel.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Like I got confused. I thought I got confused with the two names.
Yeah. So so what were your favorite characters in this one? Like who were you feeling throughout the movie?
Shit. Rey.
You liked Rey?
Yeah. Okay. Luke was pretty funny because Mark Hamill's such a badass. They finally it's funny from years of him not talking on a Star Wars. It's been like 40 years since he's talked in a Star Wars. So it was like really, really cool to see him be like Mark Hamill, like denying the hero's call, the journey, like the most, he did the hero's call.
MacGruber storyline.
He did that shit, the denial, and then no, I gotta fix everything. Like I'm on this island, they found me.
I'm done with that Jedi stuff.
Yeah. And then the Yoda part was dope. The Yoda was amazing.
What did you think about that? Me, I prefer puppet Yoda over CGI Yoda.
Well, I already looked at him like CGI, so I rewatched them all as HD.
So so you like the CGI?
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's like I can't do shit. I like
just
it like that. I like CGI more than puppets, but back then the puppets were dope. Like that cool, was dope. But
this one looked like
CGI
they had to go find the
like
original
cost-efficient shit too, like that. I like the idea of CGI. Then you get accurate. You don't have to, and it doesn't cost nothing to try and.
I think CGI Yoda is too like he's too mobile. He can move too freely, and it doesn't feel authentic.
But humans move like him. He looked like a real person.
I think
it was like Tupac hologram.
Yeah, he was.
It looks real. You have to make it look fluid because people walk like that.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. He dropped some gems. There were a lot of gems in this movie, like about like burn it all.
Especially Kylo Ren had gems too. About gems. the burn the past.
Yeah, burn the past.
Kill the past.
That to me
that was badass.
That was my favorite part because I felt like
I wanted to write that down when he said that.
Yeah, it felt like one of those.
I'll watch it again.
Moments.
It's already out online.
Yeah, somebody's gonna take a meme of Kylo Ren's face and just put it like you.
They don't know how to do that yet.
They know how to do that, bro. Star Wars.
Oh no, certain people. Oh yeah, true. Right.
No, but they'll probably put like Tupac quotes over like Adam Driver's face, like. So yeah,
a lot of people didn't really like this movie because it's like a domino effect. Like if they see their certain friends not like it, then Rotten Tomatoes says something, then they kind of like they just say something without knowing I hate shit like that, but that's the group thinking.
Yeah, I think Rotten Tomatoes is kind of causing this thing where it's like
they're just
if the score's too high, people kind of like get annoyed and they're like, no, it wasn't 100, it was more like 84.
I think Rotten Tomatoes is
they're like,
manipulated.
this movie's 100%.
I think it's manipulated, like with a budget.
Yeah.
The same thing like radio budget and music.
Yeah.
It's like a secret.
Yeah, I'm definitely
pay
on
for
that.
play.
Yeah.
I think
because
Rotten Tomatoes is easy because there was one movie that had a trailer, and the trailer said 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. Is this a live trailer? Is the next one gonna say 99? Like, no, this is bullshit. They made it. They rendered that.
Yeah.
They rendered it. Like, they rendered that video.
Yeah,
it said 100.
Yeah.
They knew to keep it. And they knew it'd be 100 when you watch it on TV because it's manipulated.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, fuck Rotten Tomatoes."
I think a few years ago, the companies realized.
Yeah, everything was like that.
Some of our movies are tanking
IMDb
because
is
of
probably
the
more
Rotten
honest,
Tomatoes.
but even IMDb is kind of whack. What I like is that they at least give you the. Well, Rotten too. They give Rotten's always funny. It's like the critics say 99, but you know it's a trash over budget movie. But the thing is, if it's an over budget movie, they also had money for the ads and the critics.
I think when I noticed
the fans would hate it.
I noticed it when Superman had like a 94, like the
Man of Steel.
The Man of Steel. I was like,
I
this movie is not.
I fell asleep watching it.
That movie was really bad, bro. And I was like,
nah,
man, come on, man. Ain't no critic in their damn mind gonna give this movie a 94. Like, this is a clear 54 leaf. Like
54.
Yeah, 54 green leaf. Like, this is not no 94. Like, and you know, I know how that works. And it's about the company making money. And now, like, certain movies are tanking because of their score, like Baywatch and stuff like that. Like, people see the score and they're like, oh, I'm staying away from that.
But those are certain movies that are like... It's crazy how there's like parts of the world that are like poor as hell, and then there's $1 million budgets for movies that they know are shitty as they're literally standing in the take. Like, the actor has to be like, but like The Rock and Kevin Hart, they don't turn down money, so it's like, who's gonna pay for their kids' shit? I'm not gonna tell them to stop, but the thing is that ruins the quality because they're already huge. Yeah. So then the machine pushes them. Look, more Kevin Hart and The Rock, and it's like all the idiots are like, oh yeah, keep it safe. Everybody has their window. Like, every actor has like a decade window. Like, it used to be Will Smith, and then he made Suicide Squad and they hated him for some reason. The movie was dope. And like, just everybody has like a window, like longevity.
Yeah, I think after a few years, people just want to bring in some new blood, and they're like, okay, we're done with you, like
the
whoever
movie
you are.
game,
I was about to say
Hollywood is very manipulated. I don't like.
Yeah, so
I like the independent market. Like those, if things turn for independent, like with Netflix and Hulu, it's gonna be better quality wise. Because even Netflix, the budget. They're shooting with like handheld cameras, like at least 8K, but maybe you think Ozark was shot with like a red, like something like that. Red camera's dope,
like a RE or something. But
a red is dope, but you can go on Netflix with that. You don't have to shoot with Hollywood budget. So I hope Hollywood gets like irrelevant, like having to go to a movie theater to watch a movie. I think that's already outdated concept.
Well, when we were watching Star Wars, like I was saying, Edo hated the movie. Like from the jump, he got on his phone and started watching. He
does shit like that.
We're halfway into the movie. Like Luke is about to teach Leia how to use the Force, and Edo.
Ray.
Oh, Ray. My bad. And Edo gets on his phone and pulls up the ripped version, the bootleg version
of the same movie
to skip ahead to see the ending. And I'm like, bro,
that
with
is
the sound
fucking
on.
hilarious.
And I was like, yo, chill. And he's like, oh,
that's
my bad.
Amazing.
And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you, bro?
He's already in 37. He's like in 2018 already. He's in February.
He's
ahead of time.
So we're watching this. We're watching like probably 75% of the movie. He turns to me and goes, I can't believe Game of Thrones is free. And I was like, damn.
What the fuck? Why would he say that?
Because I guess he's saying like this movie's super trash and look how much money they spent on it. And look at Game of Thrones, you know.
Game of Thrones not free.
It's not free, but I'm saying like I know what he means. He means damn, like there's a lot of good content on TV that you didn't have to super high budget.
That's how I feel about
it's so intriguing.
When I saw I forgot what other movie I went to see. The last movie I saw, all the trailers before were completely horrible. That I think you said something to me that there was like the girls' night. There was 2 girls' night movies coming out.
Okay.
And then something else, but I don't know what movie I went to see that I saw that. Yeah. Maybe the Tupac movie. I think that's the last time I went to see a movie. Tupac's movie.
Tupac movie?
I saw it. But that day, the trailers for that movie, since that movie's like a rated R, so it'd be the rated R. Every single movie, I'm just looking at it like, these are multi-million-dollar pieces of shit. Like, this is a piece of shit. Like, why did you do this? Like, why is there money and why is there budget? Because then look, if you market it right, people are still dumb enough to go to the theater, leave their house, Go sit in traffic. Go pay for parking. Because now movie theaters are like charged for parking if it's a shopping center.
Yeah.
So then you go, or you got to get it validated. Either way, there's like a lot of jobs created here. Because that's
through cinema,
yeah.
But at the same time,
no, but it should be video on demand,
yeah.
And you should at least be able to see the first 5 minutes of it.
I think that the overall feeling is that people aren't going to the movies as much as they used to.
No, they're breaking box.
So
now movies are breaking
like,
records. Still, they're lying.
Stuff. Yeah,
they're like, oh, piracy's killing, and then out of nowhere a record will break, and they don't have flagrant numbers like the YouTube with the RIAA with music. Like, oh, I sold, I played 100 songs, 1 million songs. No, they have like real box office like that. Game hasn't been manipulated yet.
But I think at the same time, like the big movies are making big money, like Star Wars and Jurassic World.
It's not fair.
but the littler movies, those are the ones that, because I feel like in the future, that's what they're looking at.
I like Neighbors too. People don't like it, but I like shit like that. I like movies where I like the cast and I don't care. As long as it's not cringy, I like it. Fun.
I think certain movies, your expectation is built on how much you spend to watch it. So if you go to the theater and you spend $13 on Neighbors 2, you're like, hate it. I want to see some.
I saw the screener. Explode, I saw like
I saw it too. Same thing.
So you probably at the same theater I was. Oh, the same exact room where they did the Kanye.
But I spent $12 watching Baywatch. So I was.
Why would you pay that?
Because
didn't you interview him? Huh? Didn't you interview The Rock for that?
No. That was for Pain and Gain. No, but for Baywatch, they were what's it called? For Baywatch, it was getting a lot of slack like a week before it came out.
I never was gonna watch it from the beginning because I never even watched that show. I thought that show was like a G porno.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like really it would come out 3 in the afternoon.
I didn't really care, but for me, it felt like it could have been like 21 Jump Street, and I like 21 Jump Street. But when I saw the movie, it was not funny. It was
21 Jump Street is pretty funny, but 22 was like.
22 was good.
You just give it pass, but it wasn't trash.
To me, those are the better type.
I think recently
movies.
The best, like part 1 to part 2, is Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, I think those are really good.
People don't like them, but I'm like, yo, but you really like 2 better because you've already got used to the jokes and how they are.
Yeah.
So then you add that new son of his, and then he's like the square. He's like every movie has like the square, the straight person. Like, the not as funny as everybody else.
The straight man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know where it came from, but that's like a cinema thing, but. It's kind of like The Hangover that the Doug, he disappears, but he's not funny at all.
I think Hangover is the
Doug
worst
is the one to disappear because he sucked. No, that was the one that they just became McDonald's. Like McDonald's at first thought it was fire, and they just became like, look, more the same, and it was like, damn it, you're like making fun of America being dumb, and nobody gets it. That's the thing. People are watching it like this movie sucks. You just paid $13 to watch a movie you knew was gonna suck. You're an idiot. You could have stayed home and not liked it. And you didn't have to leave. You didn't have to get in line. You didn't have to buy popcorn. Mm-hmm. So you would have saved like $45 at the movie theater. Like 1 Bitcoin at the movie theater.
I got the movie pass now, so it changes my view on certain movies.
Oh shit, but that's different.
Free, so it's
I would rather pay for like old cinema pass than a Regal pass. Because the Regal movie is bootleg. The old cinema is independent. You're not gonna watch none of those. You have to go and watch it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, like that's my thing is I go out more to watch the independent ones because I know that there's gonna be more of an
like
original
the
vision.
Like with the duplex type of like that cheap style of shooting.
Stuff like that. Yeah, anything that's new, even the A24 movies like Killing of a Sacred Deer, like those movies that are like movies that are more like indie, but they're like artsy. You know, like Lobster.
I like those. I like that. That they don't have to make sense. Kind of like Black Mirror, like not Black Mirror. Black Swan, like those, like that guy, Aronofsky.
Because those companies like Blumhouse, they do like horror movies. These names,
Get Out. These names are foreign to me.
I'll name the movies for you, but
no, but I dive in though. I dive in. If I would like start to look up and go backwards like that, that's kind of like the only one I know is Janus Films. I like everything from Janus Films. Like that shit is amazing. You see, that's like the old school art one.
Okay,
that's like they're like foreign films. It's on like those like Turner Classic, but like the Netflix version of that, that there is like that. It's not even public domain. There's just like Janus Film. That Criterion Collection. The app has that and the Janus Films.
I think that's a company.
I can't name one Janus film.
I think it's
I like him a lot too. But I haven't watched nothing of season 2. I haven't seen the new reboot, the 25 years later one. I've seen the other one. I watched it like 2 days. Yeah. Like I watched it like in 2 weeks to the point where the trippiest thing is I downloaded a sample pack that it just has like just ambient 16 bars, 32 bar cutout clips. I set it out aside. I started watching Twin Peaks. You know the intro. I started to hear that shit everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Because I heard it and like just like anywhere that had a music source that was muffled like far, I thought I heard that. That's how like embedded in my head. But then I go to my house, I open up like the dong dong dong. It's just like a little guitar. Like it's very acoustic, but it's so distinct.
Yeah.
I went to my house. I go to the sound pack. I click like the first noise because I was like, yo, I could have sworn this is gonna be it, and I'm gonna lose my mind. I clicked it and it was that, and I was like, oh my god, look at God again.
Yeah.
God is like, you have to watch this show, and I watched it and I was like, okay, see.
Yeah, I finished it. I would say like those the older ones, the ones from the 90s, those are cool because they're weird, but the new joint is just like super powered because it's like a bunch of ideas.
That's crazy.
It's like a bunch of ideas.
I liked how it was like a soap opera.
Yeah.
This the way it has like a little filter on it, like to look like TV.
This new one kind of separates a little bit from it, but it has the aesthetic of the original.
Does it at least start HD, that he's still possessed by this guy?
You want me to tell you how it
starts? No. You know what? Fuck it.
No, it's not.
Don't tell me anything.
It just takes place 25 years
I know that
later.
because at the end he says it. That's what's crazy. Yeah. He says something, I'll see you in 25 years. So then I was like, bro, look at that. Everybody survived to be there. But then
not everybody. A lot of people died.
No, the older people. The lady with the plank died. Yeah. And like people that age died, but not the younger people.
You know who died though? Like right after
Reese, somebody I know.
Miguel Ferrer, the guy from Blank Check. The bad guy from Blank Check. Yeah, man.
And he's
in the new season.
He's the cop that he gets punched by the sheriff.
Yeah, he's like a agent. So
that's the first show I ever seen him in.
A couple of people, and actually David Bowie was supposed to be in this one, and he died.
I tried to watch that movie. That shit was weird. But I saw a fan edit version.
Oh, the Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me.
Yeah, but it's a fan edit, so it's a combination of like that side rated R movie they made with David Bowie, and then like some other deleted scenes.
Yeah.
And it was it was a 4-hour fan edit, though. That
movie's weird, bro.
But I want to see the actual one. I need to stop watching it.
No, I watched the real one that was on TV, and it's weird, too, because it's edited, like, chaotically. Because basically, this is what he did, was he made the show, and the show got kind of canceled, so he made a prequel and the movie is a prequel. So he kind of like did what
George Lucas
It's weird because it's like a prequel, but it kind of gives you context of things that...
It's dope, because you don't know nothing. If you were to watch
the show,
you don't know anything about her.
It's like a good ending prequel.
What I like about Twin Peaks is you think, oh, damn, this poor girl, everybody loved her. And then little by little, like, bro, this girl was the devil. She ruined everybody.
Yeah, that's what you learn in the movie, was that she was
like no, even more you learn in the movie. You know by the end of season 1 that everybody was actually good and she was bad. But she happened to be innocent compared to Bob.
So I would say the new joint is cool. Like, it's not something to binge watch. Because
I will though. I can only watch movies shows like that. I don't like watching week to week.
It's a great binge watch if you watch like 3 episodes at a time or something, because you want to know what happens.
It is
next.
An hour long. You can't go more than 4 or 5.
There's like 18 episodes, so it's like
wow.
I think it's interesting when you binge watch a show. Sometimes you have a feeling afterwards where you feel like, damn, I'm leaving this world. And I think that it'd be interesting to see what feeling you feel after that. I know watching Game of Thrones, I felt more savage.
The first 4 seasons I saw back to back, and then I saw the 5 live.
When I was watching Breaking Bad, like I felt like the whole system's corrupt.
That's funny. You're gonna get mad.
And like we gotta get our come ups.
If you watch Breaking Bad, I watched the fan edit version. That's
the movie.
An hour and a 45-minute edit. Yeah. But I had at Mikey's house, we saw the last season. One day I went and we just watched the whole last season.
Yeah.
So I saw the last season of Breaking Bad before I saw any of the show, and I was like, okay, I know how it ends, so I don't really need to watch this shit. Then on my own, I saw season 1, and I was like, wow, I just saw the whole sandwich of the show. I don't need to watch it. But then I watched the movie. I was like, oh shit, I missed a lot. But then I don't care. I could answer. If I had to take like a Breaking Bad trivia question, I'll probably get like 6 out of 10. I'll get a C.
Okay.
That's what the condensed version of the movie is. So I have enough that I've seen Breaking Bad now. I could casually answer questions, but I don't like that show that much, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I binge watched the whole thing together once it was done, like for a few years. So like I just Netflixed it and watched the whole thing, and I thought it was good. It's one of those things like you're intrigued to see where it goes next if you're watching it linear, but like definitely like that's kind of the good thing about shows is you get a lot of those details that make you understand the character's mindset. Reading a book. Yeah, like it's like reading a book, and you know, like you could tell the whole story in an hour and a half, but it's not as fun or as detailed. You don't really vibe with the character's life like that as when you watch a show. I think with Twin Peaks is interesting because they immerse you in this world and you get little tidbits about every little character that you feel like you live in the town, you know. But and it kind of like some people are crazy. It's weird. They had a lot of guest stars come in and just play like a role that isn't, you know, like Michael Cera just comes in. And
oh, that's
out,
new, and he's the son of the. Yeah, I know that part because I follow the account, so that's spoiled. Yeah. He's the son of the deputy. I forgot his name right now, but he's funny as hell. And then the girl at the front. It's this season. What it did was a little bit of fan service. Like here's a throwback. Like what you know you want to see. But is that at least like back. Fire?
It's fire. Yeah,
like,
it was my favorite.
Not if it's good.
Bro,
if it's
there was one episode towards the middle that everything stopped. Like legit. Like I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. So when on the internet, everybody's mind was exploding because they're like, what is this? This is wild. Like it was a moment in TV. And it was
what? How far along at least?
I think it was episode 7. It was like around there.
So halfway point.
But definitely, I like the show because the first 3 episodes you really don't get any context of what's happening in the story, and then it'll do this thing where it'll spend like 4 episodes kind of doing something else, and then it'll hit a plot point. And you're like, oh shit, they just answered all the questions in 1 episode. That's why I like it. And then it'll continue with 4 more episodes if you're like, what is this for? Like, what is the point of this? And then it'll kind of say, this is what all that was for. So it was kind of a cheat, but it's a fun ride because you're like, look at all these cool aesthetic things they're doing with like
it was the universe. Aesthetically good show, and the whole trippy thing about like really that town is like Native Americanly haunted. Yeah. The dopest part was Hawk. Yeah. People sleep on Hawk.
He's in the series, and
he's legend. Probably he's probably the sheriff, right?
Part. Yeah. He's
Please, that's an easy right. Easy. He had to be the sheriff. The real guy he's living the good life. He lives in Hawaii again. That's where he's from.
So I don't know. I feel like we talked about some good stuff. What anything else you want to talk about? Anything about Bitcoins or anything?
you want me to save the world right now?
George wants to put us on Bitcoin the world and advise us on what we should be doing with our money.
You diversify your coins.
Diversify your coin. So actually, Bitcoin isn't the one we should be looking at. What's the one we should be looking at? This is Rebel Film. No, actually, Rebel Finance.
No, you can't do that because those people are like serious about their coins. Mm-hmm. So you have to like babies feed them.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, there's money in the altcoins. The altcoins are like very undervalued, and it's like there's a lot of scams. The scams come from ICOs, which is the like pre-sales. So if you could think of like buying look at it through like the stocks. So it's each coin is like a stock. So it has like a value as an asset of the company. So as they start to launch new apps, they start to go into the real world, the real world usage, like real purpose. They have like a specific, they start to gain value. It's just like the real world stocks. So, but there's so little volume that if out of nowhere, some guy's like, "What's up with this coin, man? I don't like it," and he's like a legit one of those crypto people that faked his influence, but the people like. It's so easily to manipulate this game. That's like it's very hard. Like you're walking around like in mines, but you need to learn. You need to learn. Like take it upon yourself to research. You can't watch a YouTube guy tell you because at the end when he gives you those 5 coins, maybe 2 or 3 of those coins are coins that he has a lot invested that are like shit coins, what they called. Mm-hmm. So he's like just trying to manipulate you to join his like error. He's trying to because it's a come up like there's a lot in the altcoins. So imagine Bitcoin right now is let's get the live.
Oh, look at my phone blowing up. Pull up the live as of today, December.
Look, my boy just 17th. Bought his first $98 in Bitcoin. So right there, he bought $98 in Bitcoin, and it's valued at $19,400 right now. So he has probably point 0.004 Bitcoin probably right now, which is. It's like a decimal. So if Bitcoin goes up 1,000, he makes $4. Yeah. But that's nothing money. So if you would have a whole Bitcoin, that 4% is like huge. You put $100 USD in and you buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. All right. So then it's right now it'd be like 0.004. So it's the same. It's just like a decimal system. So as that goes up $1,000, that's 3 decimal points. You finally get the trickle. So if it goes up only $100, you don't really make anything. You make cents. So it's like it's not worth it. But so it's not worth it right now to buy the fractions. But what you do is Bitcoin starts to go up, you hold your brand new Bitcoins as they go up. So you let them appreciate just a little bit. Then you send that to your Bittrex account, which is a second. You have to have an exchange. There's where you have the you trade, because Coinbase only lets you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are 3 coins. There's no other coins on there. In the future, they're gonna add other coins, and since Coinbase is the only app that you could just straight up open up your phone and buy it and don't have to go to a computer. All the other ones require you to go to a computer because they're more like there's less security. They don't have mobile apps because everything is golden age, like gold rush. So think of it like the Wild Wild West and the gold rush in San Francisco. Exactly. Like imagine people hearing about it in the beginning. They're like, go all the way west for what? And then look how stupid they are. Now those people own like Wells Fargo. Like they own like every single like grandpappy that went over there out west. Those people are living in like plantations right now. They dominated America when America was grimy. They were in the top. Because they went to gold rush. So
what would you say would be a good investment to get into now?
Whatever your entertainment budget is, put it in Bitcoin, just so you could have a monetary currency to trade in. Then from the Bitcoin, send it to your exchange wallet. It takes about an hour because Bitcoin is so popular right now, so it has a huge volume. So it takes about an hour, like 45 minutes to get to your thing. And now you have Bitcoin in this new wallet. And you lose a little bit of cents, micro cents, on the sendings because it costs money to send it. It's like...
Like
so everybody eats. And you have miners, the miners eat. That's what runs the whole thing, is running on miners. But that's a whole other...
That's
you just need to learn how it works.
Video for that.
Yeah, blockchain technology, how it works.
So,
But basically, invest your entertainment budget, maybe even a week, however many weeks you could do it. But is this the earlier you get in? All right, in May, I had a stock at $7. 3 weeks later, it jumped to like $68, and I had already sold at $7 because I needed the money. So if I would have just pretended it wasn't there, I would have made from 7. I had 4 of them. So what, 7 times 4? 4.79 I think I had. That at 7 times like 60, say I would have sold at the high.
So what would you say to people watching that feel like you're selling
invest
them
the money
scam?
that you're gonna waste is like a scam?
No, because I feel like the hesitation to get in is usually like people thinking like, oh, I don't want to get involved in a scam. So what would you like tell them to reassure them that this
you're already involved in a scam?
Oh damn! Okay.
Like this is a scam.
So you're hitting them with the Donald Trump like,
no,
how's it gonna get worse? Come on.
No, it's just like, yo, the bank system we have is a scam. They print money out of like damn printers, like legit printers. That's where the money comes from. They don't have like a worth. They're turning on a machine and printing it out and sending it to the banks and then charging you interest. But you already know that. But then why do you say Bitcoin's a scam when all Bitcoin is doing is telling you that this is the freedom to... Everybody from Bitcoin is like basically the OG Jesus, Jehovah Witnesses that are trying to tell people Jesus is about to come. And everybody's like, bro, can you just stop with this shit already? Like, can you just like leave us alone? Whatever. And then Jesus came and everybody's like, okay, do you want to listen now? And then he grew and might fall. So Jesus was like the original Bitcoin. And he came and saved everybody. And Bitcoin could save you from the banks. But now Bitcoin's gotten so big that you can't own one. So the market has all these other coins that are so undervalued because Bitcoin is at 19,000, testing like only almost 20K. Within the week, it will go up to 20K for sure, just based on the fear of missing out. And right now what drives the market is emotion. So a lot of people missing out throw their coins. That's why it's easy to manipulate it. Like I could be a celebrity and say, buy this shitty coin. They paid me in said shitty coin, but they know that because I just said this, it's going to shoot up 20 to 30% because they've tested this already. Bam, that coin that they just paid me in went up 30%. I dump it because I know that they just needed me. These just free coins they gave me. That's what's going to happen now in Christmas. So right now, what's today's day? Today's the 17th. All right, right now it's the time to get in because people are going to get gifted these coins and be dickhead Americans about it. And they're going to be like, bro, what do I want these coins, bro? This is my dad again with this stupid shit with these coins. Or something, that crazy uncles. They're going to say something stupid about those coins that 20 years from now, if we're alive and civilization is out here, they're going to be like, yo, remember when you had those coins and you sold them like an idiot, but now you're broke as shit and living in the first floor of these penthouses that we all have. Like, because we're going to be living in apartments probably in 20 years from now. So he's going to be in the first floor and the shitty floor. Everybody that invests in Bitcoin is going to be like in Elysium. And we're going to be like, yo, y'all good down there? We're going to throw ashes on them.
Wow. Wow.
We're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna dump our flowers and shit, because we'll have flowers up there, because the sun will grow up there.
Okay.
Everybody left on Earth would be fucked, like Wall-E. That's why they made Wall-E, so they could prep everybody to be fat as shit. And then the people that invest in Bitcoin are the ones that are not fat, that they don't show behind the scenes. They're the ones in the other ship that are like, bro, look at these brokies. They're in Elysium.
Yeah.
That's what Elysium's about. Betting on Bitcoin. Those people bet on Bitcoin. That's what they don't show.
Yeah.
That they made their wealth holding Bitcoins at the beginning.
For sure.
Because it's time right now, for real. Like, you get a big, whatever they give, if you were rich as hell and you get gifted a Bitcoin and you sell it at like a shitty price, bro, like, you have to at least fiat is the one that doesn't play against it. When they compare the dollar to the Bitcoin, it's like, it makes a joke out of it. It's crazy because you can't even buy nothing with $1 of USD. $1 buys point nothing of Bitcoin. Yeah. 0.1. That's like the last one Satoshi, which is the unit of the worth. Like, it'll have, like, whatever Bitcoin has in dollar amount, it has its own amount of Satoshi. That's the unit of currency. But it's called Bitcoin. You call it BTC.
For sure.
But like all the other coins, their value backs to that one. So as Bitcoin goes up, that other coin, the outs, they're tethered. So as the ceiling for the whole market goes up, these are getting pulled along. But then these coins have way more growth, because since they're cheap, people want those cheap coins, because then they could play. You could buy solid amounts. So then, bam, it's a percentage game. So like this one coin I have has been going up 30% every day. So any day this week is gonna be good, because it's gonna come up. But then it's so volatile. As fast as it goes up, it could crash too.
Yeah.
But this is a coin that they're saying is the future Ethereum, like the Japanese Ethereum. So
you're saying just like the smart thing to do is just invest in entertainment budget, like anything you would spend on
it's like, don't sell anything to invest. If you don't even know what it is, it's like,
so this Christmas, instead of buying a new flat screen, I should just invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty lit. Yeah.
Not in Bitcoin, but the whole market, because you need Bitcoin to start. So it's at least the concept. That's how I introduced the topic. You just like, do you know Bitcoin? And they're like, yeah, I know Bitcoin. All right, then now let me teach you the outs. If you don't even know the Bitcoin, you will not understand the outs. Because imagine, like, we need to put like an infographic up on the screen. Like
because it'll be outdated by the time I put the video out.
That's what you got to put that in the bottom. Yeah, but either way,
this shall be outdated. All right.
The Bitcoin is at 19K. The next coin under is like 1,000, and that's a coin that's not even that popular in the market volume. So that's just a coin that the worth is shot up. So that could be a lot of rich people, just that's their coin. I don't know that one. It's like not popular, but the popular coins are the ones that have the large volume. That means a lot of people are buying and holding them. What the thing is, the prices are so small and undervalued because they have so many in supply. So that's like they're more as a supply. Like their supply is a tangible number. You don't know. Nobody knows the USD in supply, the real legal tender. Nobody knows that because they just keep printing, and that shit has nothing back to it. Only that we accept that dollar. So if I go to Sedano's with my Monopoly money, and they accept it, it worked. But the thing is, the bank won't take that. So it's just like Bitcoin is just right now, the banks won't take it. So that's all that's stopping people from putting in their stores. But you don't need
for the people
money.
Outside of Miami, Sedano's is like it's a supermarket.
A Spanish middle class supermarket.
Yeah.
So that they vote red.
They sell meats.
Yeah. No.
Before we go, let's talk about what were any of your favorite movies this year. What do you think are the best movies that you've seen?
This is like the hardest question because I always forget what movies I've seen this year.
You could talk about.
I need to see a list of like my history. I know I've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
I go backwards from.
You saw a Tupac movie?
I seen Tupac movie.
All Eyes on Me.
Paid to see the Tupac movie.
Did you like the Tupac movie?
Yeah, because I like Tupac, so it's not like I didn't expect Tupac to come out on the screen and make a cameo.
It made me lose respect for Tupac. That's how bad it was.
That's bullshit. Yeah. It's just not fair. It's not fair to be such a character, and then somebody have to come after you try to replicate you. And that's the crazy thing. The Tupac actor was actually the dopest part of the movie because he looked just like Tupac.
You know who did a good job in doing the same thing was James Franco in The Disaster Artist.
I haven't seen that yet.
He did a good job playing the
character. I think like Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman.
I think that was good, but that's an old movie. This is just
but the thing is, like Andy Kaufman is one of those people. Like who could play Kanye in a movie? Nobody. It would be the corny ass forced shit.
Definitely not Jay Farrell.
But Kanye at least talks like with a cadence.
Yeah.
Tupac talked like a certain weird flow when he spoke, so people copying after will sound like copycats.
I think that's what the movie kind of lacked. I think the
dialogue. That's why they had to use the real Pac voice. because it's authentic. It's crazy. It's
I think
wouldn't waste it.
watching the movie, I was trying to deconstruct like what about it kind of bothered me or what I felt could have been better. I think Tupac did speak in a very Shakespearean way. Like he spoke in poems, you know. He was
life,
like, you want to know what I'm from? Like when he would talk,
he was always
would talk like it's a performance. You know?
I like that part of the movie.
And I think they touched on it a little bit in the movie, but it didn't affect his character enough where I could see that that's who he is. There were parts that were inconsistent in that movie to me, like when Suge's just killing people for dinner, and Tupac's like, fun times.
Rap music.
It just
hip hop is
didn't
back.
make no sense.
That's
to
what
me.
he said.
So any other movies? What about the big movies? Did you see Get Out?
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
It's funny because I saw Get Out when it leaked, but it didn't leak a camera. It leaked as a Facebook Live, and I watched it like that on my TV, and it was dope like that.
Wow.
I liked it. It was that good to me that I could watch it like that.
Facebook
the
Live.
Lowest possible quality, and I felt like I was watching it from the projector room. So it was okay. Like I'm so used to watching that. I'm from the culture of watching shit like that.
Yeah.
Real legit Kramer shot cameras, Kramer films.
Anything else?
Get Out was 2017.
Yeah, February.
This year is long as fuck.
It's a long year.
That shit that's long. I know it was last year. Damn. But I know I've seen it. Damn, what the fuck did I see? I know I've seen a few movies though. I've been watching the VODs. That's why, like the
video on demand,
the Netflix and all that shit. So I'll probably be playing catch up more than anything.
Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah, I love Stranger Things. I watched it the first weekend it came out.
Okay, cool. Let me see. I'm thinking of anything else on VOD. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, of course.
Did you enjoy Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I read the book too, like the older books, not the like I don't know what he's writing now. Yeah, in my balcony, in my mom's balcony on my nook.
You just said it.
On my backlit nook. Just yes.
Oh, Daenerys. Something to think about.
The first of his name, yes. The movie's good. I like Game of Thrones. They shouldn't make movies, but they should make like kind of like a Black Mirror anthology of just random dope shit, like how Star Wars is doing.
Oh,
with like they're doing those side stories that deserve movies.
Yeah,
that they should do with Game of Thrones.
So an anthology series from Game of Thrones,
like Black Mirror.
They are planning.
They are, yeah, but they're not talking about them because they know like everything leaks.
They're gonna give away too much information.
And they said also they're gonna film like fake throwaway scenes on purpose.
Oh yeah,
because the things are digital, so they don't care. But
just to throw people
so
off.
in case anybody watching, it'll be like, oh look, they're shooting here in this hallway. But the thing is, that's not how leaks work. And leaks work from the final point. So you're gonna make a fake shoot for 500 retweets, and then.
Well, maybe that's just to give them options.
That's how much money they have to. They could just shoot throwaways.
That actually might just give them options to.
I think he's just talking shit. They're just saying things.
I think
they're bluffing.
I think it's not necessarily a leak, but people theorize so strongly.
People don't have time to waste on fake shots. Like they don't. They trust the actors.
What I'm saying is that I think the show themselves have a problem where people get to the point too quick. Like they theorize what the whole season's gonna be about before it starts. You know. So
they just been hyping up the shit of the whole war to the point of, if you watch the whole season in a weekend, season 1, they just show that the walkers are starting to walk.
Yeah.
And then now in season 9, they've now destroyed the wall that has been protected for like 400 years because they have a fucking dragon.
They have a dragon.
That you don't even know about until like the end of season 1. And Game of Thrones is amazing. That's all I have to say. Like that world, that flat world they live in is amazing.
Yeah. No, I feel like this season was lit, but at the same time, like it lacked some of the stuff that made the first season so good. Like the pacing really immersed you into the battles. Now they just kind of dropped the battle.
But now everybody's in the same part of the world, which kind of discredits the rest of the world.
Nah, not exactly. Because now they got like Jon Snow flying from here to there like that. Like
oh, you're talking about that? Scene.
Yeah, like it's too quick.
How fast is a dragon? How much horsepower does a dragon have?
It's not even that, bro. Like but it's like you can't.
It's only possible on a flat.
You remember
Earth.
when they were in the snow and they were like cornered by all the zombies, and then the dude just ran back to Westeros. Like, come on, bro.
Nah, but you don't know his 40 time. You don't know what he did. He's a fucking.
There was like a meme of like him like doing like 40 miles per hour and shit like by himself.
Yeah, man, that type of shit is like.
It's crazy.
I think it's just weird that the 4 horsemen people, but now there's 3 because John killed one. Mm. The people that he killed them, the real people in charge, the guys at the top of the hill, the real like.
The which one?
They're like the main walkers, the white walkers. Like they're white, WIGHT, the regular army of white walkers. But they're
little white.
No, that's WYTE. But the little white walkers, the WIGHT, which is a fucking Game of Thrones word, I guess.
Yeah.
But either way,
there's like the Night King, like one of the
those people. There's 4 horsemen.
Subscribe to the theories.
The Game of Thrones wiki.
There's a bunch of theories, bro.
No, but I've been on the theories because that shit all makes sense. Just like who John's parents were. I've known who John's parents were for like 2 years and nobody believed me. I was like, bro, you people are dumb. Like, who do you think his parents are? And then who do you think Tyrion's parents are?
Yeah, who do you think Tyrion's parents are?
I think it's like one of the Targaryens raped his mom. His mom is his mom.
Mad King's son.
Yeah, exactly. Because that guy hates him. The dad hates Tyrion, but he even hates the Targaryen family more. Because they're just destroying his plans.
That's what I was saying. Cause
they're destroying his plans of being a dickhead.
Before the dad,
that's what's funny.
Before Tyrion kills the dad tells him like, "You're not my son," and then he's like, and he kills him
on the shitter.
But they gave him a lot, like, because the one thing I always go to, because people don't want to believe that thing, is I'm like, when he's petting the dragon, like, you don't just have one day
they do that
I
out
had
of
a
nowhere.
dream
He's the only one that did
ride
that.
you. I'm like, the only way he could ride him is if he's a Targaryen.
Yeah,
the only reason
why the dragon even approached him. The dragon sees it in him.
Yeah.
He has little red hair too, but that's the thing is, they're supposed to have white hair, but Jon doesn't even have white hair.
Yeah,
But the thing is, that's the dominant features of the dark hair always dominated.
They say something where they're like,
Starks are dark haired.
They said like the true, what do you call it?
The first men.
No, because they're talking about like whoever's the truest, the one that they're waiting for, whatever.
Bran.
But they're saying that like, yeah. So I don't know. The next season.
I think Bran is like the god. He's like God that he can't meddle with the human wars. I think so.
Well, there's a lot of
he could easily help these people.
That Bran is
but then
the Night King.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
I think it's true.
No.
I think it's true because I think
he's named Brandon Stark, the Night King. His name is Brandon Stark. I think they're one of the original men. I'm confused now. He's Brandon Stark, the 3-eyed Raven. He is named after a great Stark, Brandon Stark, also, who he was like somebody that was there in the beginning.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the Starks are original men. That's why the Starks are up north. The up north people are just like the free folk.
But I think what happens is that he wargs into him, but it's too much. That
so he's like John Connor sending himself back to the future to send himself.
Yeah.
So he said send a guy from the future to be his dad to make him.
Instead of stopping something, he ends up starting it. Like
he has to let it play out. But he's
reason,
more of a god than
it's the only reason to explain like the army not like devouring everything. He knew that the dragon was gonna come. Like,
but they can't be at the same. Look, Brandon and that guy are in the same world at the same time, so he can't be him at the same time. Whoa, shit, he could because
in the past
Bran transcends all that shit.
Yeah.
Damn it, because Bran was already that old man, that famous old man.
Yeah.
Damn, that's Bran because they had the same Caesar haircut. They had the
That's
same.
How we know.
And they didn't walk.
Yeah.
They couldn't walk. They needed to be moved. Mm-hmm. And they were legit like placed in the tree.
Wait, so you think the old man is Bran?
Yeah. Hell yeah, because that they look
the Raven, the 3-eyed Raven.
Yeah, he was the 3-eyed
Raven.
He's always been the 3-eyed Raven. That's the thing. That's why he said. He said that.
That's wild. So we get.
But the guy died, so then he became it again. It's a loop. That's how Hodor was able to be fucked up from something that happened in the past. Like that whole shit of Hodor hold the door.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking breathe after that shit. I was like,
yeah,
this show, man. I think I was watching with my dad. I was just like,
yeah,
how does this show?
I binge watched the whole season right before that season started, so I was watching like. That episode.
That season's crazy to binge watch because it went like this.
Day of.
Oh, I watched all the leaks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, hours before.
That one, you see that episode?
Especially the one of the great fight.
I work at night, so like people are always spoiling it while I'm working. Yeah, but like,
especially
I got to see that one before, so I was like, ha ha ha, like you can't spoil it for me.
You guys are plebes watching it like a regular person.
So okay, yeah, so yeah, all right, so we talk about good stuff and whatever. But so what do you think about the political landscape right now?
It's all manipulated.
It's all manipulated.
Yeah, and you should diversify your coins to take away the power out of the banks at least.
Yeah.
So at least you could keep yourself. If the banks want to take your money, it's the same. Everything that could be said as a scam for Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency could be said around the banks. If the banks close and take your money, what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna sue them? No. You don't have any money. They took it. So it's like the Bitcoins is like the same shit.
So
They say, oh, people could take your Bitcoin, the whole market could close. First of all, there's so many coins in circulation that there's nothing that powers them like an on and off switch. The exchanges where you buy could do that, but Coinbase won't do that because Coinbase is already paying taxes and shit. They're SEC like almost, I guess, approved to be able to, because it's in the App Store.
Yeah.
Nothing else is in the App Store, so nobody else is approved. There's something we don't know about that. They're the only ones that are allowed. They might have the patent, so they have a year advance, a head start, because that's more or less what happens if you own the patent. And they're the only one that right now I could go to the App Store and buy a coin, put my credit card, link it to my credit card, link it to my bank also just to verify me, and go and buy.
So as the year closes, what do you think we've learned this year? Don't
sleep on trying new things that are, they have possibility to have a huge ceiling and a huge return of investment. So imagine if they're the scare tactics, they've once it's embedded in your head, you already made your mind up. So it's not for everybody. But it's also not for everybody to go and spend your money and give it to stocks, because if you look at a stock, that shit goes up like 2%, and that looks more fake than the cryptos, because the crypto, like, every coin is different. So you have to play it. It's a luck game, but it's real money because I've already received the money. It's not like I've given money and then it's like credits, like GameWorks. No, it's like I've cashed out and used that money to buy things. Like, it's real and it's not laundered because it was already like legal money. Like, I made that money. Yeah. I wanted to use it to buy it. Who are you to tell me I can't? Because it was less than $10,000. So I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding it and I'm not swindling nothing. I don't have 20,000 Bitcoins. And like people, that's the fear. Everything is fear tactics. But you have to understand that the banks have so much money that they have money for budgets to protect themselves, to lawyer up, to smear campaigns. The Bitcoin doesn't have that. Cryptocurrencies don't have that budget. They're a bunch of like startup companies. They're like tech startups almost, but they're 2 years ahead of the time. So imagine they're working behind the scenes about 2 to 3 years before they're rookies. It's the same concept with every industry. When you're a rookie, you had to have been working for a few years before. Then now you're a rookie starting fresh. So it's like you play high school football, you play college football, but then you're a rookie after playing 8 years of this sport. Not even to mention if you've been playing probably 20 years since a kid. You're always a rookie once you enter the professional. So like you have to work up to be a rookie. Like you have to work up just to get to zero. And it's the same shit with all these things. So every coin, man, it's just the proof is in the chart. So if you look at every coin from a year ago, every single coin a year ago is over 1,000% return. That means $1 equals $1,000. $1 in that unit of whatever you bought, say Bitcoin. Bitcoin a year ago was probably like a few $100s. And then from there, and in the past, Bitcoin actually jumped to a bunch of thousands, but it was just like on some huge fluke that maybe a rich ass guy did it to just play a game because its volume was so small relatively. Yeah. A real expensive guy with his entertainment budget is millions. Yeah. He could go ahead and manipulate the shit out of the game because he's a huge whale, what they call.
Before we go, how do you feel about Mr. Robot?
It's more accurate than everything else on every other channel. Yeah. But even though it's still like a satire on our world, it's a really good show, and I like how it's funny because people watch that show, turn it off, and then go and call people conspiracy theorists. Yeah. For actually having proof of like not what Elliot does, but like just the concept of who Elliot's against. There's real world people like that, like real world like people to be evil as shit. Like don't trust these people, and when you go to expose them, they turn into Mr. Smiths, which is like a whole nother conspiracy theory. But it's like it's embedded in the fear to call people conspiracy theorists to just discredit the actual work it takes to change your mindset. It's like a sociology thing. Yeah. The people before us, they use propaganda as like a weapon, which is basically sociology as a weapon. Psychology as a weapon, my bad. Yeah. Because like psychology with groups of people is like sociology. Like psychology is one person, but then sociology is a bunch of one persons. Yeah, like that. Like it's just, there's a lot of scare tactics so that you could be scared because you can't think while you're in fear. So that's what like Mr. Robot shows that like, Mr. Robot is like a Earth 2. Like it's literally like if we had like real hacker people that weren't already dethroned, I guess. Yeah. Because I'm sure there was real hackers like that whole hack the TV shit, but I've never heard of that really happening.
When I watch Mr. Robot, I feel like wow, this is kind of
it's a satire to what we think Anonymous was gonna do. So it's a play on like V for Vendetta, like in a way. It's the
I
same
feel like
world
it
of
is very
that.
inspired by V for Vendetta.
But the whole concept of the Guy Fawkes that's what the Mr. Robot mask is.
But I think people.
It's definitely a satire.
I think
and
people. I mean, it's weird because it's a satire, but at the same time,
it's like a Gotham world of ours, Earth 2, like a Earth 2 Gothamish.
People use like V for Vendetta as like a satire for their campaign.
But then that becomes the predictive programming of then like, oh, it becomes a novelty. So like that geoengineering movie, Geostorm.
Oh, Geostorm.
The big storm movie. Like there's like proof of like some sort of like weather manipulation that's been done. There's proof of it, but not to the scale that movie did. But then now, when you just say the concept of just shady government shit, there's a movie version of the most exaggerated, like shoved down your throat version, so that you're programmed to like trigger that movie as a reference, and then it becomes a joke. Then you're laughed at in a group, and then they continue watching the TV, and then it's just like
I think
that's kind of brainwashed.
I think that's kind of the thing we noticed this year is that everything we thought was kind of conspiracy theory has just proven to be very real. You know,
like the child, like little kid, like rings. Then now look at Hollywood doing it to adult girls, like, and it's like there's like a whole under shit that like when you start to pull the thread, the news starts to fight it because you see those people have money, so they think they could get away with it. But then after a while, like, there's more of us than them, but we don't have the news, we don't have the resources. We've already the generation before us eating shit, the one before them eating shit. We are fucked, and we are all awakening. So it's like they're starting to take away our shit. It's like, oh no, we gotta take the internet back because then they're gonna somehow come up with it. So then a show like Mr. Robot comes in to satire the shit out of revolution movements. Like Mr. Robot, I'm surprised they haven't even quoted no Che shit, because Mr. Robot is like Che. The actual the Christian Slater part, he's like Che. He's like a very destructive genius person, but like he's an asshole and he's destructive. So he'll kill 100 people to somehow he thinks he's saving 200 people. I don't know. It's like very chaotic, his mindset. It's a chaotic, he's like a chaotic bad. Yeah. Or chaotic good, like the alignment. Because I've been playing D&D. He's like a chaotic good, but it's bad to us. So like he's bad to a lot of people. And like Mr. Robot thinks he's doing good, but he's bad to a majority of people. So it's like, I'm surprised they haven't made him like show a parallel between him and Che.
Well, I think the show is kind of paralleling what we're going through, but it's at this point they're concluding in this third season.
I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
So no, but this
they're
third
signed
season
on
is
for
supposed
4
to be the
seasons.
last. Oh, I thought they were only.
I saw they signed on for 4.
Oh yeah. So I thought they were stopping after 3, and it was gonna.
It wasn't gonna be one of those like huge shows that's just like. This show cannot be oversaturated because it'll be.
You gotta end eventually.
But it is satirists.
Definitely. I mean,
I like the
political satire.
The way they play it. Yeah, it is.
But I kind of like when they stick to Elliot's actual story and like when
he's crazy. I like when they go to his mental health parts.
Like I think
I like him.
It's been good the way that they've sort of transitioned a little bit back.
He's an anti-hero, but he is a hero.
Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, there isn't that many shows that talk about those type of issues, so I think it's cool. Even as a satire, it brings awareness to the reality of what certain people are going through or what's going on. As far
crazy shit is Angela. She's like they make Angela.
She lost her mind.
Angela is like the average American. Like they had a loss. They made that loss their identity almost. And it's just a psychological thing. I'm not shaming them, but it's just like something that happens to people. Like. Something so fucking traumatic that becomes their identity, and they only know that they're the recovering of that trauma, and their whole life is consumed by being that, like that happened to them. So they're like they live in that fall of a hole that happened. Yeah. So like they snap like Angela did, 'cause she's so dehumanized. It's like a torture form. Like you're so numb to shit. Yeah. And like I think Angela is like a perfect summary of like the average person that she got into this shit. All that she did was put a fucking CD in her drive. Mm. That ruined her life. That guy gave her the CD. This girl's boyfriend, he gave her a CD. From you can't get mixtapes off people off the street.
I kind of wish that they would conclude had malware on in just the third season, because I don't want it to go on too long. It's already kind of a long show that spends a lot of time on small details. I think to end it in the third and just do another show. You can do a different show.
No, a fourth with the conclusion would be dope, because from what the look at I've seen, I'm 2 episodes away from that. Me too. but it can't end with that, and he'd have to die.
I don't know, because I was feeling like they were going to do some weird twist where he's like a computer and they're in the Matrix.
Like Westworld?
Yeah, no, just that like Elliot's whole thing is a program, because they were talking about time travel. They were talking about.
I didn't see
she
that.
was like, she's like, I've seen it, but now they're kind of, well, where I left off, it kind of like they kind of showing like Angela just lost her mind, but she was like White Rose showed me.
She's rewinding the.
Yeah.
No, White Rose is the evilest person in the world.
That they just brainwashed her into thinking that they could bring the parents back and stuff. Because I don't know, because I didn't know how deep they were going to go into where they're
she did lose her mind thinking everybody's fine. She's like, everybody's okay. Yeah. Like, I was like...
No, because she thought that White Rose could, like, reverse everything and bring their parents back.
So they have like
some sort of time travel.
They have, like, that CERN machine that's in Sweden.
No, because you saw
there's a machine that they say... It's like the devil's portal that it manipulates our time. I don't know how that could work, but
I don't know.
So if that's implemented in Mr. Robot, then they're just laughing at us.
I don't know, like what's the name? Elon Musk could probably answer those questions.
Iron Man. That's Elon Musk.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just wrap up because we're about at like an hour. So where we at? Oh, we're good. All right, yo, thanks for joining us. George, you got anything you want to tell people?
Just invest in coins.
All right.
Hide your money in coins.
Yeah.
Spend your entertainment budget on coins, and and send some to me when you make money off of it.
All right, for sure. If you guys want us to review any other movies, let us know. I'll give you my hot takes, and let us know like if there's any other guests you guys want to see up here. We'll expose them. George, you've been exposed. Just kidding. We'll edit out all the stuff you didn't like.
No, I didn't.